Males produce smaller gametes than females, and their gametes are more numerous. Typically, the male gamete fertilizes the female gamete, which then leads to the development of a new organism, often partially inside the female, i.e., gestation. This leads to several conditions regarding sexual reproduction. Superior female offspring investment, i.e., bigger gametes and bearing. Superior male reproductive potential, i.e., faster gamete regeneration. Males have the potential to pass on their genes to a higher number of mates in a shorter amount of time than females. This is because they regenerate gametes more quickly and are only involved at the moment of fertilization in the reproductive process. So, what does it mean when females produce only one gamete per reproductive cycle, while males produce millions of gametes continuously? It reduces the value of the individual male's life because it allows one male to fertilize many different females within a single generational cycle, increasing competition for mates among males, i.e., intrasexual selection. Competition for mates among females is less likely because they can theoretically be fertilized by the same male in a short period. Since females can only have a limited number of mates throughout their lifetime, mate assessment becomes more important, i.e., intersexual selection. Females may influence male competition based on their mate preferences. Males, in turn, may adjust their competitiveness based on the risk-reward ratio they can afford. Extreme male competitiveness involves high risk with the potential for high reward, while mild male competitiveness involves lower risk with correspondingly lower reward. Generally, intersexual selection occurs through female choice, while intrasexual selection is driven by male competition. Chapter 6.2.1 Gene Selection. The most basic indicators of sexual attractiveness in both females and males are health and gene quality. Health indicators are important for avoiding diseases, while gene quality can be described as traits such as beauty and fitness, for example, facial symmetry or running speed. In females, beauty is also inherently linked to signs of fertility, for example, breast size and hip width. Fertility refers to the female's ability to successfully undergo a reproductive cycle, i.e., bearing. In males, fitness also includes the ability to excel in male competition, for example, showmanship or strength. When we focus only on these factors, we encounter what is known as the He-Man strategy, or what I refer to as gene selection. Gene selection occurs when the male is primarily used as a source of quality genes for the female. This form of sexual selection is associated with short-term mating, where the female intends to utilize the male only for fertilization. To pass on her genes, the female will choose a mate that has the highest likelihood of producing sons who are sexually attractive and fit to survive. Sexy son hypothesis. She does this because she wants her sons to have the best chance of passing on their genes as well. What females find attractive is often correlated with features that are advantageous in male competition and survival, but this does not have to be the case. In these situations, there is an interplay between female choice and male competition. The question arises, do males determine the winner through competition among themselves, or does the female determine the winner by selecting the victor of male competitions. The influence of each mechanism may vary. When female choice prevails, it implies that males do not have a significant strength or size advantage. Otherwise, the male could bypass female choice by physically overwhelming her. Female choice also means that male competition occurs primarily in the form of showmanship towards females, rather than through intrasexual fights for dominance among males. In this scenario, female preferences may lead to runaway effects, where attractiveness becomes associated with traits that do not necessarily provide survival benefits for the male. For example, peacock feathers. This runaway effect will eventually stabilize, as such traits impair the male's survival, which in turn affects the survival of the female's genes if she has his sons. This represents the most female-centered form of sexual selection, leaving many males without sexual success. When females select increasingly stronger males, male choice may become more significant, as males can physically dominate the females. Increased male choice leads to intrasexual male competition in the form of dominance fights, rather than showmanship towards females. This may result in females developing attraction for males with features related to winning physical dominance competitions. Consequently, this can further reduce male sexual success rates, as males face not only female choice but also competition from other males who may override female preferences. As males guard their females, this may lead to forced long-term mating, i.e., partner amassing. Even then, females allow this dynamic to happen by submitting to the most physically dominant male. They could walk away from the harem, as they have superior numbers that could overpower the male, but they wouldn't have much to gain from this. In conclusion, female choice is the same as male showmanship competition, and male choice is the same as male dominance competition. Intra- and intersexual selection are both forms of male competition. Therefore, female choice and male competition are not distinguishable. The important distinction lies in the type of male competition, which is dependent on the ability of each sex to choose their partner. For males, this would mean amassing partners, while for females, this would mean assessing partners. Overall, female mate choice is dominant. Chapter 6.2.2 Parental Investment. Not only can the male benefit from long-term mating through partner amassing, but the female may also gain from the male's ability to protect and provide for her. To utilize this potential, the female must find ways to ensure the male's commitment even after fertilization. She typically achieves this by playing coy and allowing fertilization only after the male has invested significantly in her. This behavior leads to male courting strategies designated to demonstrate their level of investment. Males may also develop tactics to feign commitment to achieve sexual success without investing further after fertilization. In turn, females may develop strategies to detect such male deception. When the male's ability to provide and protect is utilized, individual males may become less expendable. It can be presumed that any species maximizing the potential of both its female and male population has a clear survival advantage. As these mechanisms evolve, what females find attractive in males may extend to traits such as the ability to provide, protect, and manage aggressiveness for childcare. As females seek to form long-term pair bonds, they may select males who are more committed and thus less competitive. This shift can flatten the male dominance hierarchy, making the strategy of fertilizing many females in a short amount of time less effective. This transformation in gender relations depends on the female choice retaining at least some influence, presumably maintaining a dominant position to affect the steepness of male dominance hierarchies. Males may also flatten the dominance hierarchy independently, as high-intensity male competition has downsides that become more pronounced when social groups are crucial for individual survival. More on this will be discussed in the coming subchapter. When a male invests in offspring, he requires certainty of genetic relatedness. There is greater certainty that a mother is genetically related to her child than the supposed father, as the child is physically carried and born from the mother. However, the exact nature of sexual activity around the time of conception remains uncertain, i.e., sperm competition. This uncertainty leads to new forms of male mate guarding, aimed not at partner amassing, but at ensuring no other sexual intercourse occurred around the time of conception. Superior female offspring investment and male paternity uncertainty make the mother-child bond dominant compared to the father-child bond. For long-term mating to be successful, there must be sufficient cognitive ability to reliably recognize the partner over time. In humans, mechanisms such as female choice, male choice, showmanship competition, dominance competition, partner amassing, gene selection, coyness, courting, and provision are all genetically hardwired and operate simultaneously in sexual selection. The prominence of each mechanism can vary significantly depending on individual and situational factors, with gene selection being the more ancient mechanism. Male competition may accelerate genetic evolution by applying stronger selection pressure, while male provision enhances offspring survival.